reset right here. And this is where Caitlin loves to pull up. Going back left, ball in her left hand, pull up, cash. That's
Caitlin Clark just spent a relentless offseason tearing down the one weakness critics swore would define her. And the WNBA is about to feel the consequences when an elite floor general adds lethal long-range precision to an already dangerous toolkit. Last season told a harsh story. 27.9% from three on heavy volume, a jarring number for a player known worldwide for deep shooting confidence, an exact vulnerability opponents targeted night after night. Defensive game plan sagged. Doubters grew louder, and analysts questioned whether her impact truly matched MVP expectations. That narrative is now on life support. The flaw that once limited her has been rebuilt, refined, and weaponized. Welcome back to WNBA Pro, where the conversation is sharp, analytical, and free of safe, recycled talking points. This is a defining storyline of the season. The dramatic overhaul of Clark's jumper, the elite shooting mind she quietly brought in, the mechanical breakdown she corrected, and the strategic ripple effect this creates for head coach Stephanie White. The numbers make the transformation impossible to ignore. During 2025, across 13 injury-disrupted games with the Indiana Fever, Clark hit just 27.9% from beyond the arc and 36.7% overall. With inconsistent rhythm and visibly unstable mechanics, soft tissue issues in her quad, groin, and ankle clearly affected balance and lift, but deeper analysis revealed a foundation of mechanical breakdown that required a full rebuild. That rebuild happened in isolation, through obsessive repetition and technical refinement. And if the results hold, the league isn't just dealing with the same playmaker returning healthy. It's facing a recalibrated scorer whose former weakness has turned into a serious problem for every defense.
And pull up, or she want to be coming straight line, or she'll pull up going right. She'll go right and do a snatch back, but when she snatches back, the ball is in her left hand, so it's easier for her to bring her right hand and get the shot up. Caitlin Clark is in the gym whipping up a pot of something. I smell a WNBA MVP season. As long as Stephanie...
When you break down last season's film, especially against physical defenses like the Chicago Sky, the blueprint becomes obvious. Opponents target the mechanical gap and force her into uncomfortable territory. Because Caitlin Clark was so dangerous pulling up while drifting left, defenses flipped the script and aggressively overplayed that side, steering her in the opposite direction. When Aliyah Boston set high screens near midcourt, defenders shaded Clark to her right, essentially inviting the shot and trusting the scouting report. The message across the league was consistent. Push her hard to the right hand, disrupt the rhythm, and the fluid pull-up disappears. Moving right forced her into an awkward sequence, hips fighting momentum, upper body rotating late, and shooting shoulders struggling to square cleanly to the rim. That split-second imbalance was enough to flatten the arc, rush release timing, and turn a normally confident weapon into a shot defenses were willing to live with, exposing a technical vulnerability that disciplined teams exploited repeatedly.
Just pay attention to what she does. Pound dribble, sidestepping, going right, pulling up, bang, cash. Now, why is this such a big deal? Because we know that in games, teams...
Defenses understood the pattern. Push Caitlin Clark right and the options narrowed. Kick to the roller, attack the rim into traffic, or retreat into a slower snatchback that shifted the ball back to her left hand and forced a delayed gather. That hesitation erased her fastest weapon, and the 27% clip reflected it. Opponents believed they had solved the puzzle, but the offseason flipped the equation completely, and the most important detail barely made headlines. Clark quietly spent significant time working with Brandon Payne, the longtime private trainer and technical architect behind Stephen Curry, a partnership built on precision, repetition, and microscopic mechanical refinement. Payne's evaluation was revealing. A compact motion that gets up and out quickly, extended range, tight repeatable mechanics, and a shot driven through core stability and wrist control. That is not casual praise. It is a technical endorsement from a coach who has spent years refining one of the most efficient releases the game has seen. The implication is massive. Clark's jumper is no longer relying on feel alone, but supported by a durable, repeatable foundation designed to hold under fatigue and pressure. What once leaned on instinct and confidence now rests on disciplined mechanics, a streamlined one-motion release, and balance integration that stays intact deep into a long season. These kinds of transformations do not happen by chance. They are built through relentless, isolated work, adjusting tiny details until the motion becomes automatic. And if that rebuild translates to game speed, the defensive strategy that once limited her no longer exists.
You're going to see it. Here we go. Boom. Go right. Pull up. Boom. There we go. And if that's something she can improve and do consistently, you're not going to be able.
And the most impressive element of Brandon Payne's overhaul is that it directly targeted the directional weakness defenses across the WNBA had been exploiting. In practice clips, you can see Caitlin Clark drilling the exact movement that once disrupted her rhythm. A hard pound dribble, a quick sidestep to her right, and an immediate rise into a perfectly balanced jumper. The difference is obvious. No pause, no awkward hip twist, no slow reset. She flows straight into the shot, maintaining alignment and release speed. The pull-up to the right now mirrors the same tempo, balance, and confidence she has always shown going left, eliminating the hesitation that previously allowed defenses to dictate her options and turning what used to be a forced direction into another reliable scoring threat.
Goes to her right. She just gonna walk right into it. You see how she walked right into it? Now when she goes left, watch her step. You see her step back? You see the step back right there. That's why I had it on the feet. The attention is in the details. Caitlin Clark been working on her game, man. And I'm telling you, once she starts shooting, going right, is nothing these teams are going to be able to do. As of right now.
This is not a one-off rep. It's deliberate, relentless conditioning. You can see Caitlin Clark attacking the same right side movement again, planting cleanly and rising without delay. The shot flowing naturally instead of fighting her momentum. The hesitation is gone, the base is stable, and the release fires instantly. That repetition is a key outcome of Brandon Payne's mechanical rebuild. The direction that once slowed her down is now just another scoring lane. When defenders can no longer steer a player into a technical weakness, the entire coverage collapses because every forced angle becomes dangerous. If she can pull up with identical balance, speed, and confidence going either direction, the strategy that once limited her disappears, and she moves into a tier where defensive schemes stop dictating outcomes and start reacting, a shift that turns a controllable threat into a fundamentally difficult player to contain. The difference lives in the microscopic footwork. When she moves left, there is still a controlled step back to gather, but with the new mechanics, modeled after the principles refined by Stephen Curry's longtime trainer Brandon Payne. Caitlin Clark now flows directly into right-side pull-ups with single, fluid elevation that gives defenders no time to recover or contest a high release, effectively erasing the scouting report that once guided WNBA defenses. The transformation already showed up in live competition at the 2026 FIBA qualifiers. In San Juan, where she returned after 8 months and delivered efficient production, 40% from three, strong overall shooting, confident decision-making, and tournament MVP honors, marking a dramatic jump from last season's 27.9% and signaling a career-defining shift that reshapes the entire Indiana Fever offense under head coach Stephanie White. Because when Clark's range forces defenders to extend far beyond the arc, driving lanes open, passing windows widen, and teammates like Aliyah Boston benefit from easier interior touches while perimeter options gain cleaner looks. Her playmaking gravity, already producing high assist numbers despite injuries, now pairs with reliable long-range punishment, meaning defenses can no longer sag or sit in deep drop coverage without consequences, and that tactical pressure demands flexibility from the coaching staff. Too much rigid structure risks limiting a player who thrives reading the floor in space, while freedom unlocks isolation reads, right? Hand pull-ups and rapid decision-making that stretches coverage to its breaking point. Importantly, this efficiency surge came while she was still regaining conditioning and rhythm, suggesting the 40% mark may only be a baseline. And with a full training camp, improved legs, and sustained game reps, the math becomes overwhelming. High-volume threes at elite efficiency layered with double-digit assist potential projects a dominant offensive engine capable of driving an MVP-level season. The bottom line is simple. The weakness that once defined defensive game plans is gone, replaced by repeatable mechanics, balanced footwork, and confident range. And when an elite passer adds consistent deep shooting, the geometry of the court shifts permanently, turning every possession into a pressure test for opposing defenses, and positioning this revamped version of Clark as one of the most difficult players in the league to contain.